Hello everyone and welcome to episode 1 of Eldencraft. In this series, I'd like to try to build as much of Elden Ring as I can inside of Minecraft. To start out, in this episode we're going to be building the Limgrave Tower Bridge. I'm not going to be building any of the terrain, just the actual bridge itself, and to do this I'm going to be using a generic Divine Tower build that I've already done. If you're interested in seeing a showcase video for that build, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But yeah, I'm going to be using that as kind of like the starting point for this. So yeah, let's go straight into a time lapse. My goal with this build was to try to have it be as close as a one-to-one recreation as I possibly could. It did come with a few problems though. One of those problems is actually doing small details. Minecraft blocks are a meter by meter, which means anything smaller than a meter is pretty difficult to build. The other problem I had was world height. This build is 439 blocks tall, which is above the world height. I had to install a data pack to increase the world height. Otherwise, doing a one-to-one recreation is just not possible in Minecraft. While building this, I actually discovered that there are two different layouts for the Limgrave Tower Bridge inside of the game. The first layout is the layout that appears whenever you are on top of the bridge itself or on the Divine Tower. The other layout is what you see everywhere else in the game. This means that I did take some creative liberties to adapt the top of the bridge that you can see in the game to fit with the other layout that you can see in most other places in the game. Unfortunately, it did take me quite a while to realize that there's two different layouts. So originally I had accidentally created the layout for the bridge when the player's on top of it. So I had to go back through and redo the layout so it actually matched with the layout that is seen for most of the time that you're playing the game. I figured that would be the most important look for the bridge to go after. My actual technique for building was kind of just to get like the shape down and then start slowly refining that shape and then adding more and more details and more texture to what I was actually building. I definitely spent a lot of time going through and trying to find the block palette. The areas that required terrain, I ended up going with mud and grass and not much coarse dirt. I did use coarse dirt on top of the bridge because it was quite a dirty looking area in Elden Ring, but I didn't really like the look of using that bright of a brown for all the broken sections, because when you'd look at it from far away it would just have like a weird color to it. I ended up liking using the mud more because it blended a lot more with the other stone blocks around it, so it was a lot less obtrusive and it makes the build flow together a lot more. What's good about the mud is I can put the short and tall grass on top of it, so like maybe gravel would have been a better block, but without like spawning the grass manually on top of it myself, there would have been no way to have the grass be on top of it. While building this, I did focus on making sure the build was survival friendly. So for example, being able to have stone walls not actually connect together using the debug stick would have been really useful for this, but I kind of just really wanted to make sure that it was survival friendly. I would say the only thing that's not survival friendly in this build is actually my use of the suspicious gravel block. It would probably be quite the hassle to gather all the suspicious gravel that was used on top of the bridge, but honestly the suspicious gravel could easily just not be used if recreating this in survival if it was too difficult to get. Yeah, I didn't want to use things like netherite blocks or anything like that as well. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the time lapse. And there we go. Limgrave Tower Bridge has been recreated inside of Minecraft. Let me go to free cam real quick. We can see the whole thing. As you can see, this is this is a really big build. It was really hard to make a good time lapse out of this, where you could see the scale, but also get to see like the finer details, because I really did go through and make sure that every little bit of this thing is very, very detailed. I'm definitely going to try to have much smaller builds in the future for each video, so the time-lapse will be a lot smaller. To go into the specifics, this build is 977 blocks long, 439 blocks tall, and 259 blocks wide. And as you can see, I included creatures that are big enough to create in Minecraft. So we've got a golem here. I think it turned out pretty well. Halberd looks cool. We have basically the same thing here. And we also have an archer. And this right here is an example of when I was talking about small details are hard to do. The little warp gate thing was it was really hard to get it to look good. It's definitely oversized, but I mean there's nothing I can do. And I've got broken statues, full statues, moss covered. I built custom trees over here. Yeah, and every single side has a custom texture created by me, as you can see on this side as well. And even these sections over here that you can't get to normally in the game, I have textured these as well. And like I said, I did have to take some liberties because the layout of the tower is actually completely different further on top of it, so obviously I couldn't make that exact on top layout that you see in game, but I did the best I could. Tried to just keep it consistent with what I saw in game. And yeah, here's the end. I already built this divine tower for my showcase video. I did make it slightly taller by adding basically another section right here to the bottom. And besides making it taller, and I also did adjust the height of the bridge, so I had to adjust part of the tower to compensate for that. But the only other thing I actually did with the tower for this video was, due to popular demand, I put a elevator into it. So, yeah, the elevator totally didn't just break. Nope, not at all. Anyways, due to popular demand, I have made an elevator for this. As you can see. This is not my design. This is Dr. Plasma's 7x7 round elevator. Here, let me toggle shadows. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. I do recommend him. He does a lot of cool redstone tutorial videos, and yeah, I'm not a redstoner, so. While that elevator's going up, let's take a look at the tower real quick. Since I didn't really fly around it in the video, I'll go ahead and show it in this one as well. And yeah, the inside fully done as well. I will cut back when we finally get to the top. And there we go. We're at the top. Yeah, we're pretty high up. And here is the two fingers. Yeah. Well, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you like these builds and you'd like to support me, they are available on my Patreon. Also, if you guys have any feedback or anything you want to tell me, please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to read them. In the next episode, we'll be finishing the Divine Tower of Limgrave. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.